Hello and welcome to the Money and People podcast, the show that connects the dots between financial success and the power of human capital. Today, we are talking from corporate to culinary, the story of Copperpot Restaurant proprietor Sophie Kamanga Mukwasa. Welcome to the show, Sophie.
Thank you so much, Delia. I'm actually very excited to be here.
Yeah.
It's long overdue.
Yeah, it's long overdue, and we're so happy to have you. So, Sophie, for those who are wondering who you are, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Sophie Kamanga Mukwasa. If you want to know more about Sophie, just think of somebody who loves marketing, thinks marketing, breathes marketing. I'm not only a qualified marketer. Obviously, I've studied marketing in university. Of which my current education background is a degree in marketing. And just to add on to that, I've worked in marketing for over 10 years, starting from being a marketing officer, business development manager, and head of sales and marketing. So, and when we talk about marketing, please don't think of a marketeer. They're two different things. So when we're talking about marketing, we're basically talking about identifying needs. Needs, not only needs on social media, needs in your community, in your family, and finding ways to meet those needs at a profit. That's what marketing is all about. So moving from a full-time job, obviously, something that I was very comfortable with, to owning a restaurant, it's been a very, very good transition, a wonderful transition. And I feel like it's a fulfilling experience because you're looking at coming from a background where there are systems in place. If you come up with a marketing idea, you still have there are procedures. You still have to move from your immediate supervisor to the director to that, and sometimes it's not even approved. But just having that authority, that power to say, let's try this and let's see if it works out. I think it's very, very, very satisfying.
Okay, so that's really good. And for those people in the audience who are watching our show, we actually have a very lovely surprise for you at the end. So if you're going to listen throughout the whole episode, you will discover a great prize waiting for you at the end of the episode. So, Sophie, you talked a little bit about having come from a marketing background to moving to owning a restaurant. So, can you tell us a little bit about what sparked your passion for the restaurant industry in the first place?
Okay, so firstly, I love food.
Don't we all?
I love good food.
Yeah.
So I love good food. And then, like I said earlier in my introduction, that marketing is identifying needs and meeting them at a profit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about something that I can have my own food.
Yeah.
That is affordable, that is nutritious, and that is scrumptious. So what sparked my passion is finding a place, like coming up with something that caters for all classes. We're talking about somebody that is maybe passing in the street, they should be able to buy a meal from there, to somebody that is a CEO. So coming up with a place that accommodates everybody, regardless of your social status, but you can still be able to buy an affordable and a nutritious and a scrumptious meal. So that's really what sparked my passion. And just to add on, also, I think I'm a good cook. I love to cook.
Definitely.
And I think cooking is my love language to people. So most of the times I would cook for somebody, they'll be like, have you ever thought of opening a restaurant? Why don't you try out something? Like, let people get your services out there. So I think I'm a good cook. I don't know, but I am a good cook. So it's just things like that I sat down like, okay, let's see what we can do with this passion that I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how was the transition for you? You've talked about the systems that are there in corporate, but also just the other aspect. Was it difficult for you to adjust from a full-time job into full-time business, or did you find the transition easy because you were going to do something that you also love doing? Just how was it for you?
Okay, transition is transition in the first place. It's difficult. It's rough. At the same time, it's wonderful. So we are talking about moving from a full-time job, coming out from the full-time job to owning up a business. Delia, that business might fail. It might succeed.
Yeah.
We're also looking at, you also look at the risk that you're about to undertake.
Mhm.
As for me, my risk appetite then was very, very low.
Yeah.
It was low because I always feel like, what about if it doesn't work out?
Yes.
You know, and like just staying in a job that you feel like, okay, at the end of the month, I'm guaranteed of a salary, meaning I'm able to do my bills. But then you want to transition from that comfort zone to something that is uncertain.
Yeah.
So it was quite difficult, especially that it's a hospitality industry. Hospitality industry is so demanding. You are talking about long working hours.
Yeah.
On a normal day, you start your day like around 0506. You have to
wow.
go to places like Soweto. You get fresh food because we're guaranteeing our customers that we're going to provide affordable, nutritious, meaning everything should be of good quality, and scrumptious meals. So you need to make orders. You can't perishables. You can't keep stock for a long time. So you start a day on where you have to run errands, meaning you are going to order from one place to the other.
Yeah.
And on top of that, also, depending on the hours, you find yourself you're getting home 22, of which on a normal job, by 17, you'll be logging out, packing your bags and going to your place. So the transition hasn't been smooth. At the same time, it's been wonderful because you're doing something that you love and you're also serving people. And I think what's something that is fulfilling or satisfying for me is seeing a happy customer. Oh, I came to your restaurant, I had this food, it was nice, and yeah, keep it up. So it was a rather transition, but it's good. We're in a good place now.
Okay, that's really good. So for anyone who's got a full-time job and then they want to go into business, would you recommend it based on your own experience?
Definitely, definitely. Because first of all, you should believe in yourself. Know that whatever I start, I'll push it to the end and it will succeed.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know about you, but if you're a Christian, you even know that God says, I will bless the works of your hands.
Definitely.
So meaning whatever you lay your hands to, whatever you put your mind to, you will succeed. Though it won't be a smooth transition, but you should know that at the end of the tunnel, there's always light.
Definitely.
So I would recommend, but you just need to put your books in order. You need to do your costings. You need to make sure your costings are right. You need to make sure your margins are right. You need to make sure that the customers, you're following with what customers want. Because we find our situations where you start a business, you feel, I'm going to do this and that because I want to satisfy this. But what are your audience saying? What is the market demanding? So you need to make sure that you should be flexible enough to go with the marketing trends.
So for someone thinking of starting a restaurant business, what kind of mindset do you think they should bring into the business? And also, are there any particular tools or equipment that they should have?
Okay, yeah. So depending on what you want to specialize in, you need to know who you're targeting. For example, if you want to do shawarma, your restaurant it should just focus on the shawarma, meaning you need a shawarma machine and all the other equipment that support that business. And then if you want to go the local way, you want to do the Zambian food, traditional foods, you need the traditional equipment, the big pots, the cooking sticks, and all that. But again and again, I would emphasize costing matters. If you want to start a restaurant business, you need to make sure that your books are in order. And when we talk about books, we're talking about costing. How much does the equipment cost? Let's get it there. Then, what do you want to serve to the people? How much do you want to make? And then don't just be generous saying, don't be too basic saying, no, in a month I want to be making 30,000 kwacha. Well, 30,000 kwacha, you need to break it down to how much do you want to make per plate? So once you know how much you want to make per plate, to be easy for you to come up with a plan on how much are you targeting to make in a day, in a week, and in a month.
Okay. So for those people who are watching this interview and they're wondering, where is this Copperpot restaurant? Can you tell us a little bit about where it is, what kind of foods you serve, just so that people can easily find you if they want to come and try out your delicious food?
Okay, Delia. So Copperpot Foods and Restaurant is found in Kawata, on Kawata Shopping Complex. It's a new complex that was opened last year on Burma Road, shop number A3. So Copperpot Foods and Restaurant focuses more on Zambian foods, the local foods. So when you talk about local foods, you'll be able to find the visachis there, the vimbombos, things that other restaurants do not offer. Apart from that, looking at how dynamic this industry is, We also prepare meals based on customer preference. So we get customer feedback and then they say, oh, how come you don't have this? Then we'll add it to the menu. How come we don't have this? So it's been growing, or it's been diversifying, looking at the fact that we want to meet customers' needs. So right now we're even doing fancy foods to cater for a different clientele, youngsters that want to bring their girlfriends, their spouses, and anything for some lunch or dinner.
Okay, that's really good. So you've heard it here. You can easily find your way to Copperpot Restaurant and taste some of their amazing meals. So, Sophie, back to running the restaurant business. Are there any financial lessons that you have learned along the journey that help you to manage your business better?
Yes, Delia. So some of the financial lessons that I've learned are, number one, you won't always get it right the first time, but do it anyway. So I'm not coming from a financial background where I'll do my balance sheets, make sure my expenses, this and that. No. I'm coming from a different background, but I had to learn all these things. So you need to make sure that your costs, your monthly cost or your daily cost should be lower than 40%. Meaning, whatever you do, whatever you're purchasing, whatever you do, it should be lower than 40%. That's how you can maximize on your profit.
Okay.
Then the second time, also you need to be in good books. Rather, you need to be an abiding company, like with statutory authorities. You say you need to pay your taxes. You also need to pay the health insurance for your workers. You also need to pay their pension. You need to be up to date with that. And then if you need to outsource somebody that can do the financial to run the financial aspect of your business, there are a lot of things, and Delia will be one of them to help you on, or refer somebody who can do that for you. So you really need to do that. But then starting up, I just thought, okay, we need to make profit. But then profit comes at a cost. You need somebody who understands the balance sheet, somebody who's going to guide you on your profit and your loss.
Okay, all right. And so for you, you did mention something about how you are able to curate some meals based on what the customer requests. So do you have any other unique experiences that you're offering to your customers that can just, for example, if I'm sitting and I'm wondering, what am I going to eat? Why should I go to Copperpot Restaurant?
Okay. So first of all, like I mentioned, that Copperpot focuses on affordable meals. So why should you come to Copperpot? You should know that you'll find affordable meals. Whether you are working with a tight budget or you have enough, but there will always be something that can cater for you. Then secondly, we work on customer feedback. So every time a customer comes in the restaurant, after a meal, we'll ask them, how was your meal? And then one thing I've learned also is just, I appreciate more negative feedback than positive one, because negative feedback will help you grow. So they'll tell you, no, I liked the meal, but I didn't like this and that. Okay, so you see how you can work around that. Then also we have other ways of getting feedback from customers, because we also do online deliveries. So people order through these online delivery companies, and then they're able to rate you. So is it a 5-star? Is it a 4-star? And sometimes you're even able to leave a comment saying, I didn't like the food because of that and that. Not only that, we have our active WhatsApp number and our phone. So you can call in to make an order. Then the moment you receive an order, we get a notification that you have received the order. So we'll follow up with the message, how was the meal? Did you like the meal? So in that, sometimes it may be too much to the customers, but for us, it helps us grow. It helps us work on feedback.
Okay, that's great. So a lot of managing a business sometimes involves people management. You're working with different people from different backgrounds. So how do you make sure that you motivate your team so that they continue to serve your customers properly?
Okay. So for lack of better terms, I can say this industry will show you flames daily. It really shows you flames. Because sometimes you feel like during the recruitment process, you feel like, oh, I found the right person. But oh my goodness, these people have other activities. For example, you get the best chef. Then that chef, over the weekend, they'll have an activity. Maybe they're catering for a kitchen party or anything. They won't show. They won't show up for work. And then you know that weekends is your peak time. It's your time to make money. So the recruitment process hasn't been easy, And then people come in this industry for different reasons. Some, they just want to make money. They don't have passion, but they feel like it's the easiest job to get. And others, they'll just come because maybe they're bored at home or they're running away from some lonely space. But then, how do I motivate my team? So finding a right team first has been a challenge. But now that
Yes.
we're almost there, so we do team building activities. So recently in September, we took them for a team building activity at Tiffany's in Cafe Ware. So we engaged, we had a training session.
Nice.
We also did all these other activities.
Yeah.
And everybody was happy, everybody was hyped. And then some of them even said, I've worked in the hospitality industry for 20 years, but
Yeah.
I've never seen such.
Oh, wow. Well
But
done.
thank you. But it's one way of motivating them, saying if we meet our target, we can do much more.
Yes, definitely. That's
Yeah.
really good. So, Sophie, can you tell us a memorable experience that you have from your career or even from the time that you started running your restaurant business?
Okay. So first of all, Copperpot Foods and Restaurant opened on 1st September 2023. So we are a year plus 3 months old.
Wow.
Yeah. So when we opened in September,
Yeah.
so I had this client that was coming to the restaurant daily, and every time they come to the restaurant, they'll be like, "Hi, sir, good afternoon. Is there anything we can offer you?" Like they're panting for breath, saying, anything, what can I eat? What can I eat? What can I eat? So they would come like once a week. And then I noticed that for a month, they were showing up. Then until one day I sat down with them and they said, you know why I come to Copperpot Foods and Restaurant? It has a certain ambience that makes me feel comfortable. Not only that, the client was actually undergoing chemotherapy from UTH, and Copperpot is near UTH.
Oh.
So they said, you can't imagine the processes that I'm going through. And then the fact that I tell myself after this session, I'm going to have a meal at Copperpot Foods and Restaurant.
Wow.
It's like me rewarding myself for showing up because it wasn't easy. So when they opened up to me that this is how they feel about Copperpot and this is why they come to buy their meals. Delia, it was actually heartwarming. I felt so fulfilled. I felt like if I only opened this restaurant for this one client,
Yes, then you would have done
then
your
I would have made it in life. So it's really a success story because I've always looked at creating an environment where my customers should feel home away from home, should feel the love, should feel the care, should feel the need to want to come back. So if when the client mentioned that, no, I come back as a reward for going through what I go through at UTH at the Cancer Disease Hospital, to me that was a I don't know, I can say turnaround point, but that was really fulfilling Delia. And I told myself, I think I've made it in life because if it was just for this person to make them happy and to give them hope that there's always light at the end of the tunnel and they can do. So the last time because thank God the cancer was eliminated. So
thank God.
the last time they came, because it was the last session, they actually said, thank you so much for always being there. We were not judging. We just look at somebody who's so in a hurry, they want to eat their meal. Then afterwards, they're waiting for a taxi to get them to their place. So thank you for creating such an environment. I'm okay now. And I'm going back to my family.
Wow, that's really heartwarming and very touching. Well done.
Thank you.
So I also want to find out from you if you have any setbacks that you experienced and what did you learn from those setbacks?
Quite a lot, Delia. So I learned that in as much as you can plan, you can do all the paperwork, there's always something that will catch you unaware. For example, when we started the restaurant, everything was flowing. It was good. We were learning things. We had to learn and unlearn certain things. Then while the business is picking up, customers are knowing the place, then boom, load shedding comes.
Oh, yes.
So we are load shedded for long hours. Now we need to have a backup plan. But before putting up a backup plan, you will find yourself, you will look at your deep freezers, all the storage, everything is not okay. It's in a mess. What do we do? Now we have to buy things every day. Just to sustain the customers. Things every day. And if things don't finish, you have to throw them again, buy something else the next day. It was really a setback. Then now we're saying, no, we can't continue like this. What can we do? So we have to back up the the generator that can manage the capacity. Then also we had to put up a power backup. So we have to invest in solar panels. Those are costs that I never planned for. I didn't plan for costs. I didn't plan for the solar. I didn't plan for all these things. But eventually we had to put that. So now that is adding up to my cost. In business, you plan that, okay, most businesses, they manage to retain their investment return on investment in the
Yes.
5 years.
Yes.
You know, but you can shorten the place if you can shorten the period if you plan well and
Yes.
you understand the costing. But looking at it's like whatever small thing I'm making from the business, it has to go back in the business. So
Yes.
it was really a setback.
Yeah.
But now we're okay. Everything is running. If Zesco is kind to us, well and good, we have power. If it's the time for the load shedding, yeah, we
That
stay and
is,
we have
yeah.
backup. So we have solar during the day, in the night, we have the genset, we have the
Yeah.
inverter and all that. So this is basically just to make sure that we are reaching out to customers' needs, make sure that our customers still get the same experience.
Yes.
Customers really don't care whether you have the backup. They just want fresh food.
Yes.
When you're hungry, you just want food.
Yes.
And you want fresh food. You don't want something that will give you a running tummy.
Yes.
But to make sure that, so our customers still have that experience, we still have to continue with that experience.
Okay. Okay, that's really good. And I like that you have ended up adapting because that's what's important. Whatever setbacks we face, you just adapt and you move on. Yes,
Yeah.
there's load shedding and the economy is bad, but we
Yeah.
have to make do with what we have. Yeah. Earlier on, you mentioned how demanding the restaurant business is. You did talk about starting your day really early and sometimes ending it pretty late. So, how do you manage the demands of such a busy environment as well as your family or personal life? How do you just strike that balance?
Okay, so like I said, at first it was really challenging, Delia. Because
Mm-hmm.
at first you find yourself you're leaving at 5, you're back at 22, you know.
Yes.
But then I realized that being an effective leader, you don't always have to be there. So you
Mm-hmm.
need to come up with systems in place. You need to come up with somebody, you
Mm-hmm.
know, people that are responsible, a team, you know, that is
Yes.
very competent. Because now I show up when the manager is off. So I have a restaurant manager and a team of 6. So
Mm-hmm.
the manager should be able to run the restaurant with or without me.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'll go to the restaurant. Of course, I won't just be home. I'll go to the
Yes.
restaurant on peak hours to make sure that my customers are getting the experience that they need.
Yes.
So I don't have to show up at 05. I don't have to get home at 22 hours. But
Yeah.
I'm still there, but there. I can work remotely. At the same time, I can be present to make sure that everything is flowing.
Okay.
You know, so systems are very important. Once systems are in place, you are able to run your business effectively.
Okay, that's good. And for those people who are aspiring to start a restaurant business, do you have any piece of advice that you would like to give them just so that they can at least have a little bit of leakage?
Okay, so let me tell you the truth. Nobody should lie to you that you can never go wrong with food.
Yeah.
People tell you, oh, I'm running a restaurant. Yes, you can never go wrong with food. No, you
Yes.
can get it wrong. You can go wrong with food because we've seen big restaurant close, small restaurant close because they got it wrong. You can go wrong. So forget about this. It's a myth.
Yeah.
Forget it. You can never go wrong with food. It's so funny. Sometimes you feel like, oh, I think you just need to wake up some people.
Yes.
Yeah, you can go wrong. But first of all, you need to have your costings. Do your costings.
Mm-hmm.
Finances in a restaurant business are very important.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure your finances are in order. Do your costings. See what you can see what you can work with, see why you can add bigger margins, and see why you can just say, no, you know, this is not profitable. Let's not do this.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if you keep listening to people saying, no, I buy this from this part, I can do this, and you feel like that's a pricing that you have to adapt to. No. Do your own homework, do your own research, and then you will be able to succeed in this industry. Not only that, Delia, you know, business is business, whether it's a restaurant or anything. But the core essence of business is that it has to be profitable.
Yeah.
So we're looking at profitability. So once you get it right, your business can grow.
Yeah.
And which means more money to you, more sales revenue, and you'll be able to open different branches. So get it right from the first, do your costings, make sure you have the right team in mind, make sure you know that I will not fail at this. And then the last thing, Delia,
Yes.
people think that your friends and family will support you, eh?
Yeah.
So you're setting up a business thinking, oh, I have like 1,000 contacts, but I can tell you from 1,000 contacts, not even 10 or 15 have come to the restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, so do the right thing. Customers will come.
Yeah.
Go an extra mile. Customers will come looking for you.
Yeah.
You don't need to target your family and friends. Excuse them. Yes, we love them from a distance.
Yeah.
But go an extra mile. I have customers daily that come as far as Ibex.
Oh, wow.
And they come to the restaurant. No, we like your chicken
Wow.
fried rice. So we
Yeah.
come here. My wife likes it. She says I have to buy it for her regardless.
Wow.
Then we have people that are online. We've never met. Every day lunch, they're ordering from you.
Mm.
We've never met. They don't owe us anything. They're just trying to
Mm-hmm.
support. They like the service.
Mm-hmm.
So every lunch they order. And we even know when they have company that they would say, oh, now today it's by 2, it's by 1. So
Yeah.
just go an extra mile. Do the right thing. Customers will come looking for you.
Wow, that's really nice. I am feeling motivated as if I'm also about to start a restaurant. So, Sophie, you mentioned that you really enjoy cooking. What's your favorite dish to cook?
Okay, so my favorite dish to cook, Delia, is chicken curry. Chicken
Okay.
curry. Yeah, I love chicken curry. It goes with the pasta or rice.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite dish to cook. I do cook sometimes at the restaurant though, but not
Oh.
all the time. I
Mm-hmm.
have two chefs that cook.
Oh,
So
okay.
sometimes maybe when I'm introducing a dish or it's
Mhm.
something that I love, I would do that at my spare time when there's need to. But I love to cook chicken curry.
Okay, I can't wait to taste your chicken
You should,
curry.
you should, you should.
So, if you could dine with any historical figure or with even a famous person, who would it be?
I think Michelle Obama, a famous person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love her resilience, and
Yeah.
also I love how how powerful she is. I
Mm-hmm.
love how she doesn't look down on anybody, but at the same time she's a force to reckon with. You know, she's done so amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
I've read the book actually, Becoming Michelle Obama,
Yeah.
and I'll be like, wow, such a powerful woman.
Yeah.
So if I was to be given an opportunity, I would like to sit on the table with Michelle Obama.
Okay, exciting. I also love her very much. She's done so many amazing things.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could go back in time and start Copperpot all over again, what would you do differently?
Um, well, I think I would go to school first. I would do the basics in hospitality. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say I would maybe go to a school and learn how to prepare most of the dishes.
Yeah.
Yes, because I remember the time I had this chef, you know, quite amazing,
Yeah.
but they just never showed up. So they
Oh.
introduced few things. They were good at what they do, but they were not consistent. And in this business, consistency is key.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just get the basics, on how the hospitality industry works.
Yeah.
I remember one of somebody in this industry. I told them like, what's going on? How does oh, welcome to the industry. There's always that part on the back, like welcome to the industry. So I
Mhm.
wish I did that. But also in pastry, I'm actually a pastry chef,
Oh,
Delia.
wow. I didn't know
I
that.
went to school to do pastry,
Wow.
so I make pies, I do all the pastries. So
Okay.
I did it myself and I had to teach the team.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would have been the upper person where I know, and like depending on people, don't depend on people in business.
Mm.
It's a scam. Don't depend on people. So
Mm.
if you can do it yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good. And I know you've given the viewers advice,
Mhm.
yeah. But for you, is there any advice that you received when you were starting out your business that stood out for you and helped you to be where you are today?
Yes, yes, yes. So there's one client that came to the restaurant, and because at first Copperpot was operating from 8 to 17 hours.
Yeah.
Now we operate at from 8 to 21, sometimes even 21:30. So
Oh.
a client came around 19, then they came the following day saying, I passed through yesterday. Your restaurant was closed. That was around
Hmm.
18. I'm like, yeah, we close at 18. Why do you close at 18? No,
Yeah.
we close at 18 because we want our staff and all those excuses. I said, no, why don't you extend your working hours? Like, okay,
Wow.
it's something to consider. Then
Mm-hmm.
Dela, that's how we extended our working hours to 20:30 on a normal day. And sometimes we go up to 21.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Our peak hours are actually in the evening. That's when we
Oh,
get
wow.
traffic because homes are dark, they don't have power. So they want somewhere where they can charge
Yes.
their phone, or somewhere where they can eat a good meal, somewhere where they can listen to good
Yes.
music. So it gets packed in the evening compared to during the day.
Oh,
So
okay.
looking back, I was like, I think that was an angel in human form. I think God just sent them to
Yes.
open up my mind. So that's how
Yeah.
we changed our operating hours. And
Yeah.
that stands out.
Okay, that's really good. So for those of our viewers who have stayed all the way up to the end, we promised you something really good and something really exciting. Sophie, can you tell them what's the exciting surprise is?
Okay, so dear viewers, we have something exciting for you in the studio.
Yeah.
So, if you have listened to the podcast from the beginning till now, so
Mm-hmm.
you stand a chance to win a meal for two. So I
Wow.
think we can give, I think 3 or 5.
Wow. I think let's
Yes,
give 5.
let's give 5. So 5 winners, meaning you stand a chance to win a meal for two. So it can be lunch, it can be dinner, it can be breakfast.
Wow.
So I'll hand over to Delia to see what criteria she's going to use to be able to give away these meals.
Okay, no, it's a very simple criteria. If you have been listening and paying attention, then you know when Copperpot Restaurant opened, so when it was established, and where exactly they are located. So if you can just type the response to these two questions in the comments, you stand a chance to win yourself a lunch, dinner, or breakfast
Yeah.
for yourself and +1 at the amazing Copperpot Restaurant. So, Sophie, in concluding, do you have any final words for our audience?
Yes. So first of all, I know some of the audience will be new customers and some already existing. But to the existing customers, I would say thank you for supporting us. Thank you for believing a dream, Delia. It's not easy where you just
Yeah.
come up with an idea and there'll be people willing to support you.
Yes.
So thank you for the support. Thank you for believing in us. And most importantly, thank you for that feedback. That feedback is what's keeping us on our toes, and that's what's helping us grow. And in the near future, Delia, we're actually planning on opening another branch.
Oh, wow, that's
Yes, so for a
exciting.
different clientele, obviously. But
Okay.
thank you so much. And also to the people that have never experienced Copperpot Foods and Restaurants, please do come through. We have social media pages on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. Follow us and see what we are offering and give us a chance. You will love it. And yeah, we can't wait to have you and we can't wait to serve you and host you.
Okay. I personally have had a meal from Copperpot and I must say it was delicious. So you are missing out if you haven't yet tried their food. Thank you so much, Sophie, for coming on the show and sharing your personal journey and your expertise in the restaurant business. For you, our audience, if you have enjoyed this episode, please do not hesitate to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. This has been the Money and People podcast. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.